Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'll be reviewing the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore Selfwinding-Music Edition, reference 15600TI.OO.A343CA.01, 43mm in titanium. I'll tell you a little bit about the history of this watch. Then I'll tell you about where it stands in the lineup of other similar offshores. Then I'll tell you about the case bezel dial bracelet movement. Finally, try it on and give you my thoughts. This watch, so let's start with the history. This watch was created in 2022, the end. No, just kidding. The watch was created in 2022, and they did not do any other follow-ups. It's a limited edition of 500 pieces, and that's it. What can I say about it? That's the history, really. The offshores were given a facelift in approximately 21 and 22, with some new ones coming out in the last few years. But basically, they started the new offshores as opposed to the old offshores. The new reference ones is what you see here, which have the new style movement, which I'll talk about when I talk about the movement. But basically, in 21, they started refreshing all their offshores, getting away from the old movement and putting the new movements in and making them fresh, making them slightly different than before, and really making them more modernized. And I'll go through each specific thing to tell you when I start talking about the details of the watch. And they kicked it off by doing the date or the time only version with the music edition, which is what you see here. Instead of just producing a very boring, dial, let's just say a blue dial, okay, whoop-de-doo, or a green dial, or a white dial, black dial, whoop-de-doo, so what? It's not that exciting. They decided to make the dial very funky, and in typical AP fashion, they succeeded, because AP is one of the top, is actually, I would say, the top brand that actually does things that are out of the box. No other brand does things really that far out of the box. I guess you could say Richard Mille does things out of the box, though. Okay, fine. But Richard Mille and AP are really the only two that are the top of the top that do things out of the box. Patek is a very traditional brand, so they don't. Rolex is also pretty traditional, so they don't. And leave it up to AP and also Richard Mille to do things that are totally out of the box. And this one definitely is it, because I've never seen another watch that has a music style inspired watch like you see here. Okay, that's a little bit about the history, all right? And so and basically, to pare it all down, in 2022, AP came out with a limited edition of 500 pieces, and they didn't repeat it. And so, but they also made it in ceramic. So if you like it, they also made a black ceramic version of it. And they also made a ladies version of it. They made the ladies version also in titanium. They also made the ladies in black ceramic, and they also made a ladies version that has, I think it's rubies or something, some kind of diamonds or whatever it is. They also made a men's version of it with all this, diamonds and rubies, all that, like a rainbow bezel, basically. Okay, but those ones are going to be very expensive, like $200,000 or so. So yeah, for most people, that's kind of expensive for an offshore. It makes more sense to just get the titanium one, which is what you see here. And there's a lot of benefits to that, okay, as opposed to the ceramic one. I'll talk about it in just shortly. Okay, so that's a little bit about the history. They have not done any follow-up since then. So yeah, let's start talking about the case. 43 millimeters, great size. It's the typical size of an offshore. Yes, it's on the larger side, but AP is known to be a big, bold watch, so no real surprise there. The case is slightly different from previous generations, for example, like their other divers or something, in that it has a bigger, thicker beveled edge, and the case it looks more or less the same, but I believe that the the beveled edges of the case just make the watch look a lot more modern than they did previously. Let's look here also at the thickness of it. The thickness is 14.4 millimeters. I'm pretty sure if they wanted to, they could have made it thinner, but they didn't want to mess up the proportions because the watch is 43 millimeters. You don't want to have it too thin and look like a flat pancake. So you need to have some thickness to it so that it balances and makes the watch look symmetric and, just look proportional. Okay. And yeah, they did a great job of doing that. It doesn't look too thick, not too thin, not too thick, and it's a very playful watch. Let's talk about the dial next, since I think that's probably one of the funnest parts, if not the most funnest part. Now, let's start with the time or the hour markers and the hands. Now, they made fatter hour markers and fatter hands so that the watch would be more legible. The Offshore, if you compare that, for example, to the Royal Oak, it has more legible hands. And instead of writing out the entire words of Audemars Piguet, they just abbreviated it AP, which is also pretty cool. Because it's, in my opinion, when you abbreviate it, it looks a little bit more, less formal and more casual when you abbreviate it. Which is why I think they did abbreviate it, because it's supposed to be a very casual watch. So they don't need to write out the entire name. And of course, the dial. Now, you might be looking at this dial and wondering, what the heck is it? It kind of looks like a Tetris bar, But it's not a Tetris bar. It is a VU meter. So, like in the studio, you have the VU meter, the thing that you push up and down, and you can adjust many different sounds for each different track. Each one, I believe, is a different track, and you can adjust the volume and bass, whatever it is. You can see each track moving up and down. That's what this is, a VU meter. So for those who really like music, and of course, AP is at the forefront of of watches, and they do things that are really cutting edge. And so they wanted to mix music with their watches, but how, right? So VU meter was a perfect idea because, don't forget, AP is also known for their grand tapisserie patterns on their offshores, which actually looks like a waffle. So you look at it, it kind of looks like a waffle, except it's colored to look like a VU meter. So it's just a great way that they figured out, how to mesh their current design with that of music, and they came out with the VU meter, and it's just ingenious. And to take it one step even further, each of these colors that you see here, they supply a corresponding strap to it that you can put with this. I think that's very thoughtful because not everybody wants to have a blue strap. It's a little bit boring sometimes. So they offer a yellow strap, a green strap, and a light blue strap. And so you get all these different straps, and then they also at the same time adjusted their way that they put it on by making quick release. So you press these two buttons back, you can remove the straps on and off very easily. And I think I should also say, when I'm looking at the case, I just noticed here as well, is that if you look at where the case connects to the strap, I guess you call these the interlinks that are linking them. What does it look like? It actually looks like, a guitar cable when the part that you pull on when you put on a guitar cable. It looks like that, and probably because I think that's what they were inspired by doing, and they do that on a guitar cable so that your hand doesn't slip off the metal, and so AP did that as well on this part, which adds a very cool pattern, first of all, but it also is in line or in theme with his music. And if you look also at the crown guard, if you look at the pattern on the bottom, it actually looks like a volume meter. So the thing that you push, so it's almost like you push it and you can see the VU meter move up and down. So it's a really cool way to add these subtle touches without making it corny, to make it have a music-inspired watch, but to still keep it cool and subtle. And so if you ask me, that's a really nice way to do it. Okay, so that is the case, and the bezel, of course, is the octagonal bezel. You can't change that, or else it wouldn't be a Royal Oak, and it's made of platinum, very nicely done, and just like any other Royal Oak bezel, it's what gives it its look. Okay, and so I now talked about the case, the dial, the bezel. Oh, let's talk about the movement here. The movement is a caliber 4309. Now, AP is using their same movements like this in their code, as well as this watch. It's okay. A lot of other brands do it. For example, Patek uses the same movements across their other lines, like in their Calatrava or Complications. They'll use the same movement or a base movement. They'll add something on, etc., etc. So it's okay that they use the same movement. This is a caliber 4309. Has 225 parts, and the main thing I would say is it has a 70-hour power reserve, and you can see it looks very beautiful. It has this blacked out rotor, quite a nice way to display the movement here. And instead of doing it in gold, which kind of would make it more fancy, they did it in this. It's actually gold rotor, but they put the I think it's coated with black or something, but it is a gold rotor. So I mean, pretty cool. Okay, that is the movement. And the strap I've already kind of told you about. You can change the straps. It comes with extra straps. Blue is your standard one, and you can change it to all these different ones. So if you feel very funky, if you want to wear funky clothes, you want a yellow strap, you could definitely do that, and it will still match because the watch has these yellow accents or light blue accents, etc. on it. So it looks pretty cool. Okay, that is it for everything actually. Time to try this watch on and give you my thoughts. Now, I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. I have a 7.5-inch wrist. I can recommend 43mm for anyone who has a 7-inch wrist or larger. If you have a 7-inch wrist or smaller, probably you should go with a 37, or you're very borderline. But anyways, what are my thoughts? I think that first of all, AP I think is a great brand. The Offshore is one of their best sellers, right up there with Royal Oak, and it's an iconic watch. It's very sporty, definitely a sports watch, not anything else. I wouldn't say it's a dress watch, especially with this rubber strap, and especially the way they've done it, which is try to make it funky with all these different straps. And the watch, we'd have to talk about the price. The watch is retailing somewhere, I think, around high 30s or something like that. After tax, it's in the low 40s. We're actually selling it at jazztime.com, at least as of 25, for right around that. Right now it's 43K, but those things change, but it's in the low 40s, so it's not much more. It's more or less retail plus tax, maybe just a hair more than retail. So you get a limited edition watch, 1 of 500, and it's very cool, very hip. It's modern AP. So what is there not to like? Pretty much I like everything about it. It's cool, and there is no other just time only offshore. This is actually the only offshore. I'm sure they're going to come out with other ones, but right now it's the only time only offshore. It almost looks like a Royal Oak because it just has time only. All the other offshores, actually I take it back, there is one more self-winding time only, but it's the time and date. This one's time only. So I think, anyways, but it has a very unique dial, very cool straps, very cool themed. It's titanium, it's light, you can kick it around every day. It's something cool you could wear. It's not too serious, and just it's still a very beautiful looking watch. So for that reason, I'm definitely going to give it 2 thumbs up. And if you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.